well on the iOS and Android app stores, of course. And you can get, see, there you go, James.
Marvelous.
Vote, James.
Into the game. I vote for timeouts. And there's a frag on either side very early on here in this pistol round. Moving up top of mid are the T players wrapping around the short position, but Dupree says no, he's in the graveyard area. Cadian slow flank from Arch. Got to win that duel, and indeed he does. Nobody towards the B bomb site now. Ricky, though, is he's having a look through second mid and so on, but is the read to make a play towards B. He's gone through apartments. Now, maybe they're trying to figure out, is anyone towards B? Do they think there's one more person? Device starting to look as they know no one's towards B, and they might catch him off guard. Did he spot the bomb there? He heard some footsteps, and now he has control of that area at least, excuse me. They don't know where Cadian is, though. He's in a library position. He could be towards the B bomb site, so this is turning into a very weird round of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, lots of space for the T's, and Device, here's the running, and they must surely know at this point. It's a smoke on Cadian too, which that will be really problematic to just shut down some of the ranges for these USPs. Device is confirming this now. Oh, he's so silent. Oh, this could be a free kill. Oh, he just missed it in time, but still gets the kill. The bomb has gone down, and if he just holds his ground now, he is in a very strong position. Just allow his teammates to come and help him. All of a sudden, it looks very favorable here for Astralis. Vice and Cadian have to do some good damage. Cadian still has that smoke, but he can't really use it from where he is. Cadian will get the kill into Zipex. Gun is out, and Vice now trying to juke, and he would be successful. Wow, Rogue, they secure it. Really nicely handled.
Nice adjustment from Rogue there. Tough situation for both teams in the end. Very patient play from Vice. Rogue, a team who are up and coming, yet with some old faces, or older faces, such as Hiko. Cadian, of course, probably heading into that territory. Had a chat with Ricky earlier on this week at breakfast. Only 2 eggs, of course. Pistols out now for Astralis, along with some grenades. I think I last had a chat with Ricky in Malaysia at an Asian miner way back when.
I remember that one.
Yeah. It's always nice to have a chat with Ricky.
Yeah, that was a challenging one.
Enjoying life in Vegas at the moment. I know he's a keen poker player, so that would be good for him. But now it's time for some Counter-Strike. Anti-force buy around, and they've got off to a good start here, Rogue. Magisk moving up mid, but with 2 players lost already, do they hold on to what they have? Perhaps they do. The CT is now moving away from the A sites. Astralis' second game of the day, having had to play yesterday's game this morning. Had a nice chat with them yesterday as well.
Well then, Astralis will hold on to what they have, and they got 2 smokes. So the next round, it would be quite cool to see, perhaps, Device and Glaive could drop their guns, pick, maybe buy PT50s, and then they could buy 3 smokes on top of that, have 5 smokes, and it could be a potentially dangerous round. A lot to work with in that sense, and looking forward to seeing if that's the case. We know that they've been a team that has used that strategy to great effect in the past, so we're going to see that. A couple of PT50s and a couple more smokes.
Brofist.
Or will we have no investment whatsoever? So far, there's no additional investment. Come on, smokes.
No. The last thing I want to do between rounds is brofist people, because I'm like comfortable in my position. I don't want to move around too much, and then I don't kind of have that comfort feeling back. I'm one of those nutters. Yeah,
I know what you mean. Like sometimes it feels like your grip will be slightly different or something on your mouse or whatever. Like yeah, I know what you mean. It does feel uncomfortable sometimes,
especially when you use a larger mouse. I went from a smaller mouse to a larger mouse to a smaller mouse, and when I use a larger one, sometimes we just have this. But to be honest, it's probably a me thing, because me.
There's ways to like deal with it. Just having deciding what your grip is and then having that be consistent. But I think that a lot of things that we do, we don't think about, and that's where the problems come and the inconsistencies. But speaking of consistencies, Rogue, you're looking to have a consistent approach. using those grenades to isolate these players, deposition them, block them off from any vision, make them burn, blind them, and then finish them.
Into the site we go. Astralis able to abuse the smoke grenade to get White kill at the very least. Glaive going wide, sorry, but he will get taken out, leaving Dupree and Magisk, and now Magisk with a CZ again. I think there is some value to be had in trying to save his Kevlar, but it's like, his CZ's not such a big deal, right? So if we consider the cost of his Kevlar, $650, what is the value? The value of that versus the value of picking up an AK, which you could say is $3,100 because essentially it saves him buying an M4. Which one is more important in a particular situation? And perhaps it will be the AK, although he is moving into T-spawn, so opportunist if someone comes his way, but for the most part he's holding on to his $650. That is something to think about, though, for those of you at home. Right then, very quickly, are we into the buy round for both teams? Rogue off to a good start with the pistol round, but now the real game begins.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see how this follow-up will work for Rogue. We'll see the well, actually not quite the maximum grenades here for Astralis. They are missing a couple, but otherwise they are good to go. They've got 3 incendiaries, so that's always good to see. Is it on their B players? Yes and yes. Glaive and Zipex carrying those, so they can pressure Banana fully if they'd like to. We know how powerful that can be for Astralis. There's the deep smoke, and Cadian trying to counter grenade, get some damage in it should they be pushing the planks there. When they will be, but just a late peek. Very nice, the timing of that. Avoid any counter grenades, which we saw Cadian throw. Then peek in with a flash whilst all their grenades are still active to see if they can get something done. So get that information. But Rogue have done well. They haven't really lost much damage. Astralis have invested a lot of utility, but Rogue have Banana.
For those of you in GoTV, Zipex every round. On the CT side at the very least. I think the CT sides are the best to watch for decision making for the most part for newer players, but indeed I would strongly recommend watching Zipex's POV for the entire match. See how things happening elsewhere have implications on what he chooses to do. Very good learning tool. 40 seconds now, and Rogue start to deploy grenades into the B bomb site. Device slowly starting to move in the direction of the B bomb site, but there's a smoke ahead of the smoke, and Glaive is able to abuse that with his UMP, and Zipex can follow up, playing with his teammate. And they don't seem to have any idea where they're getting shot from, and suddenly it's a 5 versus 2. Make it 1 as Device contributes as well. 20 seconds, Enrique gets his head taken off, doesn't know what hit him or where from. That is a very strong round of Counter-Strike on the B bomb sites.
Yeah, they get rid of the UMP, pick up 3 AKs. That's pretty awesome. There's no need to really upgrade at this point to an AWP, not that they can actually afford one right now, but this is a flying start for Astralis in that first sort of buy round, losing 0 players. Really well done by them, and indeed it's going to be interesting to see how efficient they're going to be. This is, one thing that punctuated their play against Complexity. They made Complexity look really, really bad, and it was actually just because Astralis played so efficiently and didn't really give any space for Complexity to do anything. Much like we just saw in Inferno just now with Team Liquid against Hellraisers, where Team Liquid didn't give Hellraisers a single chance. Astralis will set themselves up to do something similar, but first comes this AWP on Cadian. They have these AKs too, and they're working control into the apartments, conceding Banana early round to Astralis, however.
Astralis slowly moving to the back of A. All these AKs. Cadian checking what's going on. Molotov towards the tree position. Not often the T's have to clear that one out at this stage. A late HE grenade. We spoke about Big and their grenades, and now it's time to watch Astralis. Probably top 2 grenade users in the game at the moment. Let me know if you disagree. The bomb is in second mid. Enrique looks to collect it. It's a great device behind, a great Molotov behind the smoke. So if Rogue had any ideas, as that smoke dissipated, they are forced away. That is very awkward timing for them, but that's good timing for Sick. Now we've got the smoke that goes beyond the arch towards the library position. Dupree going beyond it. It's got to be careful though. You can see he's got an off angle so he doesn't get pre-fired, but he's changing it up in case of a flashbang, it seems. Now he's heading forward just as the smoke goes down. Some spray. Doesn't want to outstay his welcome because he can punish those tracers. Magisk has a lot to do. He's on his own here.
Oh, he can't quite find the angle. Very well teased by Rogue. They take over this A bomb site decisively, and that's 0 players lost. And Astralis, their success is short-lived, and I mean, they are absolutely going to be happy that in the previous round they survived with 5 players, because right now they are only going to survive with 2, and to be reset after just 1 round is brutal for FACEIT side at this point. So that's a great response from Rogue. Really nice play there from them. Astralis tried to play, a fairly passive round. They did that sort of, and it's a conditioning thing. They said, okay, we're going to use these grenades on Banana again and again and again, and then eventually, it's the case that, this causes a reaction from the Ts. So the Ts can either push it or they can just let it sit. And a lot of teams just let the deep Banana smoke sit, and that's actually a problem. I think what Rogue did by immediately challenging that smoke in one of the rounds, even though the round didn't go so well for them, it just showed that they're willing to do it, and that's really important and helps to create a situation where Astralis' conditioning won't be as strong with their Banana control. And Astralis must win this round now because their money is going to be so ruined.
You sort of gamble through the smoke there at the end, I think from Dupree, as Magisk was alone in the pit, trying to use him as a distraction, but there were so many Rogue players there that they were able to deal with it very quickly indeed. Astralis back on the buy. Now we've got Device on the AWP, we've got full force Astralis, but not for long. Zipex picked off towards that Banana position, but Glaive and Magisk are here. Device is towards the A-bomb site. Oh, some damage done. Maybe by a grenade, or I'm not sure if he tagged them, but all of Rogue are top mid. Device on the site now. Dupree in the pit position. All change for Astralis.
Yeah, so now Rogue will just start to spread backwards towards that Banana area, see if there's anyone flanking. And that's really important too, because Astralis are in this position where there's lots of different plays they might make, some of which could be riskier than others, such as a Banana push if a player was deep, but there is no player deep, and now they've understood that. Rogue choose to do. They don't have Banana control just yet. We're hitting the minute mark, and if they wanted to double back towards B at some point, they would have to clear it. And I think they might be coming close to missing the window of time where they would have to do that. However, Astralis don't have that information. It's on Device here as they start to push him. Oh my god! I think he was slightly distracted by the player peeking from Boiler, and that'll be the end of him. Sick with the follow-up as well, and it's an instant save.
That's what we were talking about in the previous match, where you see 2 targets and sometimes your brain makes you shoot between them. We saw him see Ricky, but then he saw the elbow and then shot between them. That's a really small gap between those 2 players as well. That's got to be really frustrating for Astralis because that wipes them out. I mean, Rogue set up really well for a instant trade frag if there was a sniper on short, so Device probably would have been fragged in fairness, but at least Astralis would have got something out of this round. That's not the case on this occasion, and Rogue now moved to a 5-1 scoreline, being a best of 1. This is a very good start, especially as Astralis have only recently had their economy reset, so Rogue are looking strong in the early stages of Inferno here.
Yeah, just trying to defend these weapons. Rogue know that they've got Astralis against the ropes. They know that they can't buy next round, so if they're able to kill these guns, that would be significant, but there's no time. It looks like they've given up on it, so they will keep the 2 AKs into the next rounds. Actually, no, one was an M4. So we'll have to see if Astralis can somehow find a way to make something work in this round where their money's poor. Rogue, so far quite successful actually getting bombs down, which is really cool to see from them. This is quite the test for Astralis early on. We saw what happens when everything goes well for Astralis. And so now we're going to have to see that grit and determination that they've shown in all those finals in which they've been able to come out the victors of.
A lot of people during a tactical timeout put a finger to the lip when they're thinking about the match. But Device is the first I've seen who's just squeezing his lips together while he's thinking, which is interesting. All right, then let's see what Astralis have to offer in this round. It will be a mixed bag. They've got an AK stolen away by Magisk. He's the man robbing the shops. Glaive on the UMP, Zipex with the lowly CZ. Now, this won't be an aggressive Banana round from Astralis as we've seen before, because they are ill-equipped, so they're forced to start on the site itself. There is a smoke at the top of Banana. Dupree in Boiler at the moment, and Device is not far away from him. Oh, there's a stack, in fact. So, some funky plays from Astralis, trying to get something early, some opportunist positioning. But for now, Rogue are focusing on Banana.
Nana. Let's see if they can make this round work for themselves. Lots of danger points. Astralis trying to hold on to that utility. They're a team that's usually very good at doing that. You really have to work to force them to use that utility prematurely. And with that stack in the Boiler position, the boost for Magisk, they are hoping they can get a pick here. But unfortunately for them, Rogue moving towards that B bomb site. We've got two players lying in wait, of course, for Astralis. It is Glaive and Zipex, the B players. And, oh my goodness, it's going to be very difficult without some flashes here. That CZ. How much damage can he do? He's got assistance now, and it does appear that Device has gravitated towards that B bomb site with the M4. So there's a chance here for Astralis.
Device only has the Molotov, no pop flash. Set reaction, smoke grenade from Glaive to buy him some space, but they've gone beyond him already, and he's blind, and now he's dead. Running out of bullets to Zipex, so only the one kill for him, but here is Device to clean up. Spray transfer, 13 seconds, and he annihilates the round. Vice left on the A site, 1 versus 1. And Vice has 2 frags, so Device knows where he is coming from. And that will be a timeout win for Astralis. Again, they were so ill-equipped at the beginning of this round, and he gets an AWP for his troubles. That is a lovely upgrade for him.
Yeah, this is beautiful, isn't it? It's somewhat similar to Chopper's play on Train earlier today. Just very decisive, clean trio of kills. And it's one of those series of frags where you can see that the player, they have so much experience and so much confidence that they know what's going to happen before it happens. Like, yep, go over here, then the next thing I have to do is go over here and then over there. And it's like super calm. It's already happened in their brain, you know. And so that was really cool to see from Device. And that's 1v3 is going to throw a wrench into the works for Rogue.
That was a beautiful round from Astralis, and Rogue, that was their chance, really. Astralis did not really have all the toys in the bag. They gave up an early frag, Astralis, in rounds prior, where Zipex got picked up very early on Banana, and you're not always going to get those opportunities against a team such as Astralis. So So maybe this is the way back into the round. But look at the buy of Astralis. Rogue are still much better equipped, and they can look on the positive side. We can reset Astralis again and really we can look to target 10 rounds, have a 10-2 scoreline if we can win this round. Astralis with a Mag 7, 2 UMPs now. But that stolen AWP, that Device carries.
It is stolen indeed. He is a thief, a tea leaf. That's the Cockney rhyming slang for thief. Alright, we've got Glaive with that UMP. He's been really good with it, but Magisk will go down straight away on the balcony. Glaive's got a lot of work to do now. He's obviously got some support in Dupree, but he's only got a Mag 7. So it's beyond awkward here for the Astralis defenders. Rogue looking like they're on for a good approach here. More assistance coming in the way of Zipex. Space for Dupree to cause problems. Bomb down at his feet. The Mag 7 looking pretty good for it, but Cadian edging him out with the AWP. Good stuff there from him. Device now turns his attention to the 1 versus 2. And if he can get this first frag, there's not a chance though. Cadian ready for that one.
Device seemed to know what Cadian was going to do there, looking higher on the box, expecting him to go for the standing peak. Didn't quite work out that way in the end, but the Astralis had some really strong bait setups here as well. First you had Glaive peeking from double stack, and he's just showing some presence there, wanting the T's to focus on him. If they come too far, the Mag 7 comes into play, but even after he goes down, you have a second CT with an off angle in front of the graveyard position, essentially doing a similar thing. So that could have gone a lot worse for Rogue, but they have managed to get through that, and now they've got to get through 5 CZ75s. French special. But indeed, Rogue, I think they can say, all right, let's go for a 10-2 scoreline now.
stars. I think this is one of those tournaments where Rogue, definitely one of those teams that I think can do a lot better than most people would expect, based off of the recent growth we've seen out of this lineup. Of course, these are best of ones, but still, they have improved massively, and they are definitely showing some of the improvements here. And can Astralis string some rounds together? Each time they've won a round, they've been reset immediately afterwards, and that sucks. AWP out on device. You see the typical nades here going either side. A minimal nade investment from Rogue. It's one of those things where if the CTs throw nades every single round, then you can wait for their nades to be useless, to the smokes to go away, then you can start throwing yours, and then you have a more value from your utility in comparison to how they use their utility. But we have a potential balcony pop in order here by Rogue. We've seen how powerful that play can be. More pressure towards Banana will make the balcony pop seem all that more unlikely. Oh, this could be explosive. Okay, here they go into the bomb site. Magisk and Dupree on that bomb site, looking to try to defend here. Magisk doing a great job, gets 2 off of the spray. Now they line up for Dupree. Can he get another one as well? This is not going well for Rogue here. It looks very promising at the beginning, but Magisk just did too much damage perhaps. Created so much space for his teammates. Cadian desperate now to try to make this all work. Gets the shot off, but Device is quick to the angle as well, as Rikke now tries to line up something, but they surely won't peek him. So much discipline here from Astralis. They got the 2v1. They know that Rikke has to cross to the site. He's got to make the play. And he's going to cross into their line of fire, and that'll be Dupree finishing it off, but a nice setup there from Astralis.
A third round is won. 7 ace, of course, still possible. So this can improve. There's a tactical timeout from Rogue at the moment to discuss how they should respond. They don't really have the money, Rogue, despite winning the last 3 rounds. Again, that USP round basically broke the money of Rogue in this round, and that really allows Astralis to get back into this first half. So credit to the damage that they did there. And now Rogue, what will you choose to do? Astralis are very well equipped, and Rogue are going to go for the 4 spy. This is very interesting indeed. 2 AK-47s and some pistols. Now, I wonder what they think is the Astralis setup here in terms of what they have in equipment. They may be in for a nasty surprise. By the way, this is very less than ideal. Device taking a lot of damage. He really is hungry to get this peek in, but now he's got 15 HP, and he hasn't seen a single person.
It's rather scary, isn't it? Astralis, they must win this round. It's their chance to finally string rounds together, and what a chance it is, 3 players without rifles here for Rogue. Rogue look like they want to burst onto Banana here. We got the setup here via Vice with that flash for his teammates. And how well are these flashes going to work here? Well, Device is not going to be able to take a quick shot, but he's just staying on the angle there. So confident. There's the first shot. Can they chase him down? Will they chase him down? Looks like they don't want to. They realize they're too far away, and there goes the HE from... Oh my god. That hurts. Zipex doing some good damage there.
Rogue continuing to press on, but looks like Zipex is about to rotate away, or no, he's switching positions with Glaive. I wonder if this is because of the smoke grenade Glaive has. He's been so good with that responsive smoke grenade, trying to find the right angle to go for a push with the flashbang into the smoke now, and this does look like they've stabilized here. Astralis not lost a single player yet. Rogue really want to do some damage, but Astralis are not over-peaking. You can see Rogue want the engagements here because they don't have much other choice, but Astralis are forcing them to go way too deep to do it, and it seems that they are in safe territory. So they start with 2 AKs, and 2 AKs is what they will finish with. And now they are into very awkward territory.
Yeah, sometimes it's a difficult one. They've just been. This will be their second loss in a row, so they're getting $1,900. So one of the problems here is that they're saving the guns, and their money's going to be out of balance with their teammates, because their teammates only need one save to fall by. And obviously, if Ricke and Hiko, they would only have $2,400 in the next round. So that's just awkward. So they are going to force buy around this. Let's see if they can make it work.
Yeah, now things have got awkward. Pretty much the same, pretty much the same as last round, for all intents and purposes. Let's see if they can get any further. Quick look in mid, and Dupree doesn't see a whole lot. Device on the banana position with the AWP. Trying to jump on through the smoke, not quite working out. And there's only so many times he can do that, especially on his own, before he is taking unnecessary risks. Here's some jumping. Ooh, saying hello to Cadian. He's ready for another go. And he knows Cadian was close. So it seems he's comfortable enough to hold this angle. Now what does Cadian choose to do? He has no idea if he's being watched or not. We've got Sick rotating to the bottom of the ramp, maybe to have a double peek with Cadian, because Cadian is essentially trapped here. In the meantime, you can see Ricke waiting top mid with the bomb, and there is a flashbang, in fact, and Ricke will punish Glaive trying to move around, so all of a sudden, Rogue have a man advantage.
Yeah, 45 seconds, they've picked up an AWP on Cadian. Ricke will die, but however, Sick has now got himself an AK-47 as well. 35 seconds, the bomb, they have to make a decision now with the bomb, and they have to. You don't want to be in a situation where you're too desperate and time is running out. They've got top mid again, they picked up the bomb, they're going back towards B. Are they taking a long way? They've got 20 seconds, they're going to walk through for balcony, and they're going to leave Cadian to try to entry. And oh, he's got the smoke as well, and the flash, so it's really going to look like B at the moment, and indeed 2 players will rotate towards that B bomb site. Cadian even goes all the way back to A. This is really smart stuff, but Magic's looking to spoil it. There's no time to plant the bomb, and Magic has done enough. Very well played. It was a good attempt from Rogue to go for that fake, but not enough time to clear the site.
Tables turn and turn again. 8-5. Astralis continue to catch up, and is this finally an eco for Rogue? And they have the AWP. Do they force around AWP as they forced in the last 2 rounds as well? It seems that it will be a lighter buy on this occasion. Now, if they can get Cadian to get some crouch peek kills, perhaps some weapons can be collected and damage can be done at the very least for Rogue. We shall see. It's going to be, I imagine, a slow approach unless the AWP is lost quickly. Sick. That's a nice shot. Dupree just having a coasty time in the apartments, and now Magisk has walked into his doom. All of a sudden, we've got 4 players swarming the A site here for Rogue, but it could change quickly as only 1 player has Kevlar, and he's almost gone.
Yep, looking for that trade frag. Glaive did not get the kill. That's an instant save, I think, from Astralis' perspective. I mean, they're already there, but maybe Device can find a head, but I don't know, it's not going to happen. Let's get some damage in. Now he's been tagged. He's got to fall back. Rogue picking up an unlikely one. It's quite cool to see. Always dangerous. And Astralis having to really fight hard for every single round. And they will be denied 1 more in this one. And their best chance, or rather their best result now, can only be 6 rounds in this half. Device does get attacked. They are hunting here. They know that the money's not in the greatest place in the world here for Astralis. And Rogue can buy no matter what, pretty much. The only thing they can't really replace, I don't think, is the AWP. So they are looking to really try to get rid of these guns, but they can't quite do it. Good attempt, though. Wow, can Rogue get 10 T rounds on Astralis? That would be impressive. That shot was certainly impressive from Sick. Really quick frag. You do not expect to be the recipient of that.
One round left in this half. Both teams on the bye. Maybe Rogue will get to 10 rounds after all in this first half. Zebex and Glaive towards that banana position, an exchange of grenades on both sides, but Glaive is still alive with 20 HP. Grenades bouncing around that sandbag position. Will cost them a lot, but not everything, not yet. Seems that Device will head over towards... Maybe not. Oh, okay. Glaver's taken the AWP because he's low health. That makes sense. And Device will, it seems, exchange positions with him. And he's fully equipped. He's got the smoke grenade ready as well. It's been so fun to watch Glaive have those responsive smoke grenade positions for CT to create space and force his Ts to run through it, which gives him a lot of advantages. And now here he is towards the arch position, getting smoked off. Pulling back. Does he keep an eye on arch, or does he have a diagonal angle towards that short position? Seems there will be more swapping done, and he can play around double stack. So here we go, Dupree in the arch position. Actually, Glaver's in tow, and Magisk will be left around that pit area. Cadian and Hiko looking towards Banana, starting to move up and see what's going on.
35 seconds. Lots of grenades on Astralis to really foil this effort from Rogue for sure. And Cadian will toss one onto the B bomb side here, and so will Hiko. So the bomb is not picked up just yet. Are they going to rotate that? Because they've got 20 seconds now to plant. They're going to have to just run the entire way. Again, if something goes wrong, one thing, that's all it takes. There's no time to plant the bomb. 12 seconds, 10 seconds, and finally they make contact in the bomb site. That's a fast one from Sig, much needed. Rikke picks off one as well, and everyone goes down. And in fact, they have a 1 second to spare with the bomb plant. And for that to happen, they had to get instant kills. Unbelievable stuff here from Rogue, and Astralis are trying to do what they can in the 2 versus 5 to rectify this.
Zipex and Device, no grenades, 1 kit, 1 Zipex, and he's gone. Which leaves Device in the last round of the first half, and he is soon to follow. So Rogue indeed get a monstrous start against Astralis on Inferno, having won the pistol. And they got 5 of the first 6 rounds. And then got 3 more to just the 2 of Astralis at that point. So they have to be, I think they are very pleased with that, and maybe that's more than the expectations they had set for that half. But now a new half begins, and another pistol round is there to be won.
Yeah, it can't really go much worse for you from Astralis' perspective than that. You know, there's 2 really hard reset rounds for them, and I mean, you got to hand it to Rogue. They played it out really well. They had a lot of rounds where they created picks, and that's not easy to do against Astralis. And of course, it's by the nature of the fact that Rogue has some incredible players. And now the question is whether Rogue can convert. As you say, James, that pistol round really makes things a lot easier for Astralis. So let's see if they can do that. They've got 1 P250 on Magisk and some smoke grenades here. So lots of options available for them.
Sika and Rikke having a look down Banana, which may allow Cadian to rotate, but you never know. There's plenty of time on the clock, and it seems Sika might rotate as well. So 4 players towards the A site, but can they get there fast enough? Because it seems Astralis have quick intentions. Cadian in the library position. 3 players moving up arch. He spots maybe 2 of them so far. Didn't think he had time to pull the grenade pin out, so he sticks to his gun. Vice being really patient there. There's a wall of smoke in the pit position, but no one's in the pit. He goes in apartments, flanking instead, as is Rikke. Now he comes up that short position, but they're on the site. Vice, how's he still alive? There's only 2 players left for Astralis. Somehow get the bomb plant down at the very least. And now it's Device versus 4 targets all over the place, and Rogue swarm. They win both pistol rounds, and they are in a very interesting position now.
Yeah, Vice doing a great job indeed. You know, really showing the power of not dying, and not necessarily getting the frags. Obviously, he ended up getting 2 kills in the end, but he was such a problem. Such a problem. He just destabilizes their ability to plant the bomb. It delays them for so long. You can see he's just able to defend here. They're just desperately trying to kill him. Gave his teammates ample time. Hiko, a proud user of the 5-7. Good to see that he's been keeping that consistent. And the worst has happened indeed for Astralis, and they've opted to force buy with the bomb plant. Now this is quite cool because, and there's lots of justifications for this. Instead of waiting 1 round and getting AKs, you know, firstly, if you have a good round for it with all the utility, it can be very powerful. And it looks like they may go for a balcony burst here. And they want to immediately take control of the situation. They do not want to let Rogue get to 12. That smoke really ruins their timings here.
Preemptive from Hiko. Falling back on the balcony with a reload in tow. Vice and Cadian towards Arch. So Magisk has a smoke in his hand being deployed, and I'm sure a flashbang is soon to follow. That's very interesting. What can Hiko really do in this situation? He knows what's happening, going for the pre-fire, but he's soon going to be out of bullets, but the 5-7 is very dangerous as well. Falling off just before he could have got that frag, but now he's got the T's in the pit, but he needs to get out of it. But Cadian's, what is he going to do with this position? That smoke's going to go soon. Does he push? Does he fall back? He can't stand there forever. And if he... Okay, there's a flashbang from his teammates, and oh, he could have got 2 from it, but he knows where 2 of the last 3 players are. Magisk Boy getting a frag near the apartments, leaving 2 CTs alone.
And they're going to rotate around the quad position. The stepping will be heard. And there's a multitude of angles to worry about here for Rogue. It's very unfavorable, especially with the UMP and the FAMAS. It's hard to see them able to pull this one out of the bag, but they'll give it their best. And Sick waits patiently. There's a smoke that comes in from the CTs to make it easier, but again, it just appears to be too much, and it is finished off by Astralis. And that is a brilliant round from them. It really showing you the power of a good plan with that utility in those CZs.
Now what will they choose to do? I was talking while I was muting myself at the same time. 5-round lead for Rogue in this spot. Astralis instantly equipped very well after that forced buy win. And that has to be frustrating for Rogue. They had to feel after winning that pistol like they were going to win this match. And now everything turns around. All of a sudden, that feeling has been taken away, that feeling of confidence. Astralis are right back into this. The implications of that round are huge, but Astralis are the ones who need to act upon those implications. This should be a formality round for them. Rogue with better equipment than Astralis had in that 5 USP round, although I do not expect the same level of success. 4 CTs towards that B-bomb site. There is a flash that Cadian is holding, so they have a trap laid out on the B-bomb site, but Astralis slowly move away. 3 players around the apartments now. You can see Cadian holding the flashbang. If you are rotating towards the B-bomb site when the push is coming in, from where Cadian is standing roughly, a flash towards the pool area can be so strong for your team. It allows your teammates to peek ahead of it while the opponents will be blind or have to look away. So always get that flash in if you have one. Vice now in a very tight angle, completely blind. They know where he is and they know where he was, and he's the only person who was on the B-bomb site. Rogue don't have much to lose in this round. No one has any Kevlar. They've got $500 between them in terms of what doesn't spawn with them. The two P250s. Sorry, $800. Hello. And plenty of weapons to collect. But there's also money to make here for Glaive. He'll make some. Zipex will steal a kill. And Sick can't punish the reload of Glaive, and down he goes. So Rogue lost on that round. 4 rounds now between the 2 sides. And the money still isn't quite there for Rogue. But this is more of a money-making opportunity for Astralis with the MP9 and the UMP.
Rogue. Taste their own medicine, perhaps. Stuck with a situation where they can't do too much. Astralis were perpetually in that situation in the first half. Astralis maybe get to stretch their legs a bit. Strino really spread those wings. Oh my god, front lining up. We'll see 1 kill there going the way of Rogue, but a second one coming out from Vice. How much more are they good for? Well, Vice, oh my god, 3 players are dead. That's a beautiful result, all things considered. He's going to pick up an AK-47 as well. Now, does he go for more kills here, or does he try to save this AK? Looks like he's fancying the latter, perhaps, or just a very long rotation to be unpredictable in his position, maybe catch a saving player. What is Vice up to? Looks like a save. Big old grandfather clock there. I predict soon, in the next 3 years, you'll buy a grandfather clock, James. I see that in your future.
I love grandfather clocks, but I have nowhere to put one. My place is full of shoes.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Who is this? That is Device with the M4 is lurking around the apps. I wonder if Vice heard something.
Vice standing on the kitchen surfaces. Health and safety will not be happy with this. Food rating is going down to 0. Not fit for consumption. The gap is closed to 3. What do Rogue have to offer? Finally, it is buy time. Riquez on the AWP. Does that mean we're going to see 2 sniper rifles? It does. Cadian picking up a second one. Vice has his AK from the round prior. Now, Astralis will expect at least one AWP in this round. How do they try to negate what they expect Rogue to be wielding? Cadian has a reasonable spawn. Is he going to go for an aggressive peek down mid? Molotov jumping past, not really having a look to see what's going on down there. And it seems Rogue are in position. Ricket avoiding the initial grenades. Oh, he spotted a cap perhaps. And Glaive has been shot by Cadian elsewhere.
Yeah, that's a really important kill, isn't it? I mean, double ops can sometimes be fragile, but if you can get that opening pick, it really gets strong. Astralis now grouping up for that B attack. They're going to have to deal with the likes of Sick and Ricket. Not an easy one. Let's see how good the utility is here. A fast attack into that B site. There's no warning for Rogue. Ricket and Sick will have to do it, or at least get enough damage here to allow that rotation to come in. Ricket, bold stuff, brave in front of the smoke, takes a quick shot before falling back. Good shot to take, and they are slowing them down quite significantly. There's no rotation coming in yet, but it doesn't really matter. Sick is going to have a great situation, doesn't get the second one, does some good damage, and Ricket can finish it off. Whereas this rotation now from the CT's Vice will arrive. It's quite slow in there for Rogue, and this gives a chance here for Astralis.
Where will Zipex go? You can see that Vice has a specific lineup to smoke off the banana position entirely, and the bomb is not planted for a spray down through the smoke, and now he goes coming in for the flank, spots both players, and he just needs to be a threat now. A Molotov will pepper, but he will not be able to finish off Dupree, who is isolated from Zipex now. There's a 10-second defuse coming in. None of these three players have a kit, but again, the bomb is not planted for Zipex. At this point, does he think it's a fake? Even if he does, there's not so much they could do about it. Target's jumping around, and Dupree will be finished off after time. There is round number 12 for Rogue. They seem to be happy with that one. The two AWPs surviving, as does the AK-47. Astralis, though, have plenty of cash to keep up the pressure for 2 more rounds at the very least.
Yeah, the bomb went down and the money's not dry just yet for Astralis, so there's a ways to go for Rogue before they're in a position where things will get easier on themselves. And Astralis will take this time out to really decide what the best approach is. They know that Rogue are running this double op setup now, and that changes how you want to approach a round, you know, where the inherent strengths and weaknesses will be. So Astralis may opt to try to play more of a map control game than just build that into a set piece, really abuse the smokes against the orbs. But if you try to play a slower pick-based battle, you can just so easily run into an AWP angle, and that is a big problem. So you want to try to avoid that. So let's see what Astralis can bring together here to try to defeat Rogue. And we can't forget as well, Rogue are going to be more than happy with players like Cadian and Ricket to go aggressive with the AWPs as well. And they could surprise Astralis. He could jumping across with the spot. Indeed, Cadian's going very deep here. This is very risky, but it could pay off massively here. How long does he stay out there for? Dupree is close. He's gonna go for it. Oh, Cadian, the timing doesn't work out, but there's the trade from Hiko. That's important. At the very least, there's a trade.
That's crazy that Cadian got picked off first, but we might not have time to talk about it because they're moving up top mid. Vice looking away, spotting Glaive, and down he goes. But there are players moving into that short position. A change of pace from Astralis. A nice headshot from Device. Smokes down on the arch position, and Hiko getting taken out, and Vice has to just take pot shots through that smoke. One more smoke, and that is a devastating timing which will send Rogue packing for this particular round. Normally, when you have a sniper looking second mid like that, you've got a CT looking down mid, so if anybody wide swings, then you can do something to deal with it. I don't know if the frag came from the pit, which may be harder to deal with, but either way, it is round number 9 for Astralis. So this is a difficult game of Counter-Strike for Astralis, but they are keeping within arm's length of Rogue, not letting them get too far away.
Yeah, I really did like the fact that Rogue played. They tried the aggression. It's, as you say, it's how you execute it. Ultimately, I'm not sure. Oh, hello, Device dying there. They have good enough money though. I'm not sure exactly what the peak was either, actually, from the bottom of middle, but yeah, what is the response now from Rogue? They do save some guns. They can get the double ops rolling in again. Does Cadian try some shenanigans once more? I don't think there's any argument against it. I think you just have to, if you're going to play it, as you say, like you just have to have the right precautions in place to make it as safe as you can and just not overstay and understand if your timing is gone or not.
Yeah, they've been against the risk for the full peak down mid, and again, it can introduce variance, and Rogue seem to be doing okay without that. Glaive's taking some damage, getting shot through the wall by Ricky. I don't know if he saw the trajectory of the grenade and that was enough to line it up, or if it was just a random pot shot. Either way, there's an early man advantage for Rogue. Cadian towards the arch position, Vice rotating through CT onto the A site perhaps, and Hiko in the pit/balcony area as per usual. Astralis looking to focus on the A site now with the whole team in tow. No presence being shown towards the B-bomb site whatsoever. So they've got just the one-man advantage on this push if they are to commit now. Will one of these CTs from B rotate over? Yes, it looks like. Well, maybe not. Okay, there's a wall of smoke again. Are they offering a double fake perhaps? Because there's no play behind these grenades. And here we go, it's a delayed one. This time Hiko won't be able to body block or pre-fire. They're jumping into the pit behind him. He has no idea where he is or what's going on behind him. He'll stay in apartments. Last time he rotated into mid. He's jumped though. He may have given his position away, and Magisk is waiting on a late lurk.
On the side. He's been quite consistent and impressive with that M4. Let's see what he can do. I mean, it's a very hard situation. All those teams just sitting in the pit, waiting for those smokes to go away to do the damage, and that's Vice gone. He does take one with him, though. Dupree's out of the picture. 6 now replaced Vice with that AK on the bomb site, and he's got some support from Cadian via the little pit position as well. Let's see what... Oh, Vice... Oh my god, how on earth did he find a headshot there? Sick, doing increasing amounts of damage here. Just Zipex left from that pit position. Ricky will finish him off. What a beautiful frag from Sick. That absolutely saved them.
That is a huge round from Sick. He was alone on the site. His 2 teammates were smoked off around that library arch position, and you saw him start to move forward, and I think because of the time on the clock, he was going to try to stop them from planting the bomb, but the bomb came to them. The bomb came to him. I think they knew he was on site, but when Device loses actually, that's a crazy frag, but that's the bomb at his feet as well. Second frag delivered, and Rogue are in such a strong position right now. Tactical timeout from Astralis at the moment.
And the money is not in a great place. They can still buy with drops and so on, but they've got to communicate to make sure they can optimize it. And they still have a CZ and a UMP in play. Full utility though. And perhaps we'll see something from Astralis which is similar to the round, the second round on their T side, where they lost the pistol. They had the bomb down though, and then they decided to full buy with 5 CZs and max utility, and they did a version of a balcony pop with the utility. And that was really strong. Could be an option for them to go to now in this round or something similar. But Rogue are really off balance too. If Rogue lose this round somehow, we're going to have probably a tied game pretty soon. Okay, that's not a good start here for Rogue. Hiko aggressive as well on 12 points of health. Has to use a smoke to maybe escape here. And those walls are all paper thin. Hiko's in so much trouble. He knows he can't move too soon. He's got to be so careful. And he might just... Oh my god, does he make it out of here? Oh my god, he makes it out of there.
In the meantime, CTs are out of position towards the B-bomb site. Someone's jumped past Sick. I don't know if Cadian has any idea. He's got no idea at all. How did he not hear that? And now Sick is surrounded in a smoke. Do they think it's empty to spray? They realize what's going on. And this is a catastrophe for Rogue. They haven't done a single point of damage in this round. What the hell's happened?
Yeah,
they've got no money.
Yeah, they went aggressive, 2 men towards the apps. I wonder if they did that because they thought that Astralis would try to rush balcony or something like that, and they wanted to just catch them and just murder them as they were running up second mid. I wonder if that was the case, because if you push 2 players aggressively on the apps, that can always happen. There's always a risk of that happening. In a spot where you know that you have the best buy, you've got 2 AWPs as well. So if you lose those 2 players, you're just going to lose the round most likely. So
perfect run. Not taking a lick of damage, not touched even once. There's a Vice making his way through. Okay, so I can't tell from his POV if he jumped in the smoke, but from the X-ray on 6 POV, it looks like he had jumped past him. But in all the commotion, perhaps the sound was not heard. 3 rounds between the 2 sides, but Rogue are on eco. Astralis, can they get the momentum to take this over the line now? as really the economy is in the absolute bin for Rogue, and the bin's got flies around it.
4 USPs and a P250. Well then. Rogue in a desperate time. If things are barren at the moment, at least the treasury has been expended. The national debt is soaring. And it should be an easy one for Astralis to clean up. Making sure to cross every T and dot every I. Astralis make sure that they don't take anything for granted here in this round. We've all seen it happen. We've all seen rounds like this lost by the T side. And there's the smoke. Oh, there's a nice thing coming in. Flashes will also follow though, which makes life difficult here for the CTs. And Glaive jumping around. This is a bit chaotic, but it looks like it will be okay.
I'm not even sure who is shooting him in the head at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vice, there's not a lot for him to get out of this, although there is some damage done actually. Some people have taken chunks. We shall see. Astralis move to round 11, and Rogue, they don't got the cash right now. See what they choose to do at the beginning of the next round. That was a painful one. Right then. Might be a second deco from Rogue, as 3 players have less than $4,000. And really, you do wonder if the beads of sweat will start to form on the brow, because Astralis are not the team you want to be 1 round away from you. And that is looking very likely indeed. Oh yes, we've got the high explosive grenades, we've got the shrapnel. Where is it headed? Will it be an immediate throw? Will it be a delayed throw? I don't think we see enough delayed carpet bombs. Oh, that's a good start. 3 more to follow, but will they go D? They go too deep indeed, and the rest of this will be simple enough. There's a return from Dupree. Looks like they have defeat, picked it up and thrown it back. And there we are. Now we've got Rogue back on the buy, and the game continues for real.
Yep, it's last chance, or could be the last good chance for Rogue if they're not careful. Obviously, they really like going to the double orbs, and that's expensive. And, you know, you do want to, if you can, try to get an advantage early with it. Astralis have built up a pretty impenetrable amount of money. I don't know if you could describe that as impenetrable, but you know what I mean. They got a lot of money. They got a lot of money.
Never tried to penetrate money, no.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on.
Okay. So, Ricky with the elevated position. That's beautiful. Finding the header device there for the lip of the wall. And that is exactly what you need with the orbs. Especially when you consider that the other team likely knows you have them, so they are very wary for it. So you have to create opportunities, and that's what Rogue just did in a masterful way. So now the question is being asked of Astralis, can you find a way to salvage this situation? And it looks like they just want to go into the B-bomb site. Just at this point, no qualms about it. Don't risk losing another player to these orbs by trying to take more map control. Just go for that B-bomb site. But Ricky in position with that orb. Smoked off finally. Sit close as well. He's been fantastic. Gets another dink. The follow-up is connected with by Ricky, and that's Glaive out the picture. 4 versus 2 here for these CT players of Rogue. Looking really good for them.
Dupree by the tree. He's heard Cadian jump off the rail. Cadian has no idea. He's delaying his engagement. Massive second frag from Dupree. Do they know Riquet's position in construction? Quickly moving into safer territory, but Zebex has to get off his position before the smoke goes away. And indeed he will. Vice in CT, Riquet in construction. More grenades being exchanged by both sides. They don't know that both CTs are coming from the same direction though. There's a pop flash. Dupree avoids it. Vice taken out, and Zebex is in a safe position, and now Riquet trying to hold on to his AWP, going for the no-scope, but there's no hope as Astralis tie the score 13-13, and that is eco territory again for Rogue, and now Astralis can take the lead. It is there for the taking.
Absolute beast mode from Dupree with the quad kill, just savaging everybody here, and that it's just a simple things sometimes that are just so effective. Just playing in front of the smoke, your position is unexpected. and that was enough to make things very awkward for Rogue and their money. They needed that round. Astralis, if ever there was a way to beat them, Rogue had it with the result of that first half, and it's all slipping away. Unless Rogue, with their last buy in the next round, can find something special. Astralis are gaining in strength every round, and also, you know, when you have a situation where one player goes huge to save you, like Dupree just did, that has a really positive effect on morale. Rounds like that can really raise the level of the team. And Dupree, just clinical stuff from him. You can't stop this man. Oh, hello.
This is interesting, because the bomb has not been planted yet. And Ricker just picked up an AK, and he's thinking, surely they're going to go towards B because I've got an AK on A. However, Magiska's in the arch position, and I think he got the sound cues that Ricker was going towards B, and that might be the saving grace in this situation. Dupree now making his way towards the A bomb site. But do they know where Sick is or was? He hasn't had any engagements, I don't think, in this round just yet, so they still have to be careful here. Astralis device creating a thin wall to have some cover, clearing the site, and down goes the bomb. So Rogue took a fast gamble, but unfortunately for them, Magic's boy was close enough to realize what was going on, and being already on the B bomb site, it will be safe territory. Rogue are going to hit maximum loss bonus, so they will have the fullest of full buys in the next round, especially with that AK. He can give that to Sick, who's on $2,000, although he'll be able to buy anyway. But an AK is always nice. Do they go 2 AWPs, or does he hold on to it himself? Lots of questions to be answered by Rogue. Can they get back to these winning ways? They've only won, really, the pistol in 2 more rounds in this CT half. So it doesn't look good for them right now.
Yeah, I think they've had some good opportunities. Eco, or actually no, yeah. In fact, everyone, if they want, they can buy orbs. So expect to see the double orb come out again. You know, it seems to be the thing that they're most comfortable with, and they go to it time and again, and they can afford it here. And this is the last round for them. As you know, like if they lose this round, they're gonna have a suboptimal buy, whichever way you cut it. So, and obviously, you don't want to play for every time if you can get the win. So it's all on this one really for Rogue. The last best chance for them, as they get the double orbs and full utility behind it. And again, I do think that some of the aggressions they've taken, I think that's been smart. I think against a team like Astralis, you do have to try to throw that wrench into the works. You can't allow Astralis to just, you know, play their round out and let them take the initiative. You have to take away a player, you know, force them to adjust to what you're doing, you know, keep the pressure up, even if you're on the CT side of Inferno. I think that is necessary, and that has been so far the approach of Rogue.
(14-13). Astralis now in the lead. It is 2 snipers for Rogue. It has to be this round. Riquet and Sick towards the B bomb site. Just ready to stop these flames. So what is he planning to do with that? Stop the full push of the CTs. Oh, he was trying something, but it seems they were ready for it. There's an exchange of fire, and Device will see the tracers, and now there's no more Sick. Riquet forced back with his AWP. Still left alone for the time being. Dupree and Zipex now moving through apartments on A in the meantime, while Device clears the top of Banana.
I think this is good. You know, in a lot of cases, you know, I'd say, you know, the 1-for-1 is really important, but because, you know, Rogue are the underdogs, and because there's double ops on the side of Rogue as well, I think that, you know, creating more chaos like this creates more opportunities for them. They need the unorthodox against the likes of Astralis, and they may get it this round. They've got 3 towards that A site, and that's where the bomb is going at the moment, into the apps. Astralis having presence towards Banana as well. So if they want to double back towards Banana, they can. They've got time. They've got 40 seconds now to make the call, but the call has to come soon.
Device working towards CT. But the other 3 players are at the top of A. Cadian moving into the site now, deploying some grenades for a teammate. Molotov into apartment. So they anticipate an A play. Now it's only Riquet on the B bomb site. Device is falling away. Vice wondering, but there's no push for Riquet. He'll communicate 2 fast frags from Rogue, and They may be good for this. 8 seconds left, and Vice has to be eliminated quickly by Dupree, or he just gambles for the plant, and Device covers. That's a huge frag from Device, keeps him in the game, and all of a sudden, Ricky is on the B bomb site. I thought Rogue had that one. That was a clutch frag from Device, and now it's match point to Astralis.
If Ricky can hold on to the AWP, though, I mean, Astralis at this point, they get to a certain amount of time, and they should just try to rush him down, see if they can get a crazy shot, because there'll be a timing where he can't win the round. But if he can save this AWP, he's taking a very deep position to do so. There is a world where Rogue can still save this match, find the overtime. But they're on max loss bonus. That's $3,400 now awarded to the Rogue players at the end of this round. There it is. Vice could even drop an AWP if they want to double up on AWPs, but obviously the money's not great, so do they decide to do that? Yes, yeah, Vice drops an AWP onto, so Cadian and Ricky will have an AWP. Great stuff here from this. Oh, that's beautiful from Device.
That is huge. That is that's a match point frag right there. Well then, we have the double AWPs. We have a very reasonable buy from Rogue, better than I thought we would have. But is it going to be enough? Again, only 3 CT rounds won, including the pistol. They got reset after that. Worth mentioning. So let's see. Okay, with some warning shots, but he's playing further back. They will not contest Banana too much. They don't really have the tools with which to do it. Pop flash, and he knows one person's gone beyond the angle. So at a minute 27, they have 2 smokes remaining. Some gamble shots, but you don't want to take too many of those. So that is very early control of Banana for Astralis, and they've got players in apartments as well.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they'll be Astralis will be counting on, that their opponents have low utility. So by having so much pressure and forcing it out, as James mentioned, it creates a spot where late round Astralis create a huge advantage when they eventually go for a site, and there's no counter utility left. Cadian, though, can he find the angle? Oh, he might be able to get more space, but they've just disappeared from this position, so they might re-peek it, though. This is very interesting. Cadian will see that there's nobody here at 45 seconds. How do Rogue what do they think about this information? How do they read that?
Well, they have already got 3 players towards the B bomb site. There's no way he goes beyond Boiler in this situation, and Zipex may cut off rotators later on, but no, they're faking. They're going back towards the A site, and that's the bomb spotted immediately. That is the information they need, but can the rotation come fast enough? In fact, Astralis are going back towards the A site, B site, and they pull Rickett out of position, but he's delivered the first kill. 15 seconds now, and they move back trying to get a smoke in, and Sick is around the fountain area. He's got to survive, but he doesn't. 10 seconds for that bomb to go down. Rickett moves towards the coffins. Where do they choose to plant the bomb? They're still trying to clear the site. He goes through the Molotov, and there's Dupree, but Zipex has the cover. What a clutch play from him.
Once again, just perfect timing before it was Device, now at Zipex. And that bomb can go down in the nick of time. Hiko coming in from Banana. He's got Zipex to play against. Can he win the battle? No, not quite. Zipex finishes him off through the wall. Now down to Cadian. That's a stunning shot there from Cadian onto Device, but that's all he's able to do. And Astralis grind it out. It looks so bad. After that first half, they were down 10 against